the India market. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Entering the month of February, the air is dense with the chatter of love. First ringing in the season of love, Cadbury Dairy Milk Silk has released a new TVC that showcases how consumers can access unforgettable love tips via QR code scan on the packs and make their Valentine's Day special. And then, on the other hand, Cadbury 5-Star, through their campaign, is helping singles navigate through the lovesick zones and dodge gushy couples as a part of this year's Do Nothing proposition. To tell us more, we are joined in by Nitin Saini, who recently took charge of India marketing for Mondelez as their new VP in November. He speaks to us about many things, including his plans to steward the beloved Cadbury brand forward and ambitious goals set by their CMO of making Mondelez a global digital snacking leader. Nitin, welcome to CNBC TV18. So good to have you on the show for the first time.
Thank you, Shibani. I'm really glad to be here.
So let's begin this conversation by speaking about the Valentine's Day campaigns. Okay, at one end, Mondelez has launched a campaign for, of course, 5-Star that is siding with the singles and, helping them find the mush-free zone. And at the other end, for Silk, you are extending how far will you go for love around the Valentine's Day. First, let me ask you, whose side is Mondelez on, the singles or the couples?
Yeah, that is the beauty of this whole thing. Like, we are with both people. We are with the couples as well as, we are with the singles. And like, we are really excited about how the activations are shaping up. And Silk actually has been activating Valentine's Day for some time now, this position on romance. And this year we are pushing the idea even further. So in addition to the, the Silk blush pack, that we have, this time people can also actually scan a Silk bar, which will take them to a microsite with curated content around how can they make this Valentine's Day even more special.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we have 5-Star, which has got a quirky, counterculture, light-hearted take on Valentines. And while everybody is celebrating couples, 5-Star is celebrating singles. And it's telling singles that the best thing to do this Valentine's Day is to do nothing.
Yeah.
And we will bring that to life in different ways. And one of the ways is actually, you mentioned, right, the mush detector, which will, it's a tech-based application which will enable people to escape all the mush that happens on a Valentine's Day. So we are with both. We are with couples as well as we are with the singles.
That's sitting on the fence, but I must say that I quite enjoyed watching the 5-Star campaign. And it's again, speaking about the same philosophy of do nothing for 5-Star, which has, several interesting, quirky, fun ads, under its belt for the past couple of years, couple of months. How has it worked for the brand so far, Nitin?
It's worked very well, Shibani. So this whole point of view that you don't need to necessarily participate in everything for the fear of missing out, that has resonated very well with Gen Z, which is the 5-Star's point of view. So every time we have activated around this thought, we actually received a lot of love from consumers. So we feel very good about how we have done that with 5-Star.
Okay. Also, you took charge of Mondelez as the Vice President of Marketing just like a couple of months ago in November 2022. Correct me if I'm mistaken. What have the past few months been like for you, Nitin?
Amazing. Like, I've really enjoyed coming back to this role and back to India, first of all, because I was out in the US doing a global role before this. So as I'm coming back, I'm kind of, amazed by the work that the team is doing and the team has been doing over the last 2 to 3 years. We are winning a lot of external accolades. Last year, the team won more than 200 marketing awards. So I feel very proud, first of all, coming back and inheriting this great legacy and inheriting this great team. I'm also very excited about what's in progress and plans for the future. So feeling really, really good. I've spent a lot of time getting to know people better and spending a lot of my time with my team as well as with our ecosystem, because a lot of what we are able to achieve is because of the wonderful ecosystem we have, which is the great creative and media partners we have. So again, spending a lot of time with them, getting to know them, that has been my priority area.
Wonderful. And as you mentioned, Mondelez India has been on a winning spree for the past couple of years. How do you intend, or your thoughts on taking this winning streak forward in the years to come?
I think first of all, the way we are bringing the brand purpose to life by not just telling stories, but by doing real acts, and that has worked really well for us. If you see over the last couple of years, we have again some exciting plans on that in 23 and beyond. And the other thing that has worked well for us is how we are looking at consumers as not just one consumer cohort, but by looking at what their passion points are, and then curating content in a way that reaches them in a more meaningful way, which creates more impact with them. So we have planning to amplify our what we call as personalization at scale approach with the way we reach our consumers. And then third thing I would say is that people are becoming more digital savvy. So again, we are working on a few really good tech ideas which will allow us to reach consumers in an even more impactful way.
Which one has been your personal favorite work?
I would say that the one that actually received a lot of awards, which is the not just a Cadbury ad, which was a great example of Cadbury generosity on us actually enabling small retailers to do well too. That I think had a purpose at its heart, but the way we brought that purpose to life in a very impactful way with technology playing an important role, that campaign is one of my favorites coming out of the last 2-3 years. The other one I would say is the work we have been doing on Cadbury Dairy Milk generosity work, which is around acknowledge the unacknowledged, and we have again, we have again been kind of bringing that to life, not just through communication or through ads, but by doing actual acts.
And how are you stewarding the Cadbury brand forward?
I would say Cadbury, if you think of Cadbury and Cadbury Dairy Milk, which is synonymous with the chocolate category in India, I think there are several ways in which we want to push the brand forward. First of all, the whole idea around generosity is working very well. It brings us closer to people's hearts, and that we know has worked well for us in the past. The getting a strong emotional connection with the consumer is something that works very well. So we would continue to activate around generosity, as I just spoke about, and then of course we have opportunities to drive penetration for the Cadbury brand with more households. And one of the opportunities that we are looking at is how do we get dairy milk in the fridge? How can we be an indispensable partner of the fridge? How can we drive stocking of chocolates? And that is an opportunity area.
So how are you doing that?
So we have a couple of initiatives over there. We would have a campaign which will talk about stock dairy milk in your fridge, how it is an indispensable partner on your fridge, how having dairy milk in your fridge can lead to more meeta moments at home. And then we also working on a pack solution, because right now one of the challenges is that it's not always easy to stock dairy milk in the fridge. So we are also working on some stocking solutions by way of a pack. So combination of this would help us get into more households.
Okay. Moving on, you just launched the third offering under Mondelez Cadbury Choco Bakes, which is the Choco chip cookies. So what is going to be your approach and strategy in the Choco Bakes direction, and how much is the focus on biscuits and these bakery products?
We are actually getting great response from consumers and customers with the launch of the Choco chip cookie. And this will play an important role in solidifying our position in biscuits along with Oreo. We feel that there is great opportunity over here. In fact, the Choco chip cookie market this segment is one of the biggest segments in what we call as the Choco bakery category. So the early response is very good, very positive.
And is building a strong position in the premium cookies a priority for Mondelez?
That is exactly true. We want to build a really strong position in premium cookies within the overall biscuit category, and that is our approach.
Moving on, your global CMO Martin Renaud has set ambitious goal of company becoming a global digital snacking leader with greater investments in digital commerce and e-commerce. How are you executing it?
It certainly applies to all the key markets around the globe, and India is a key market in the Mondelez universe. It's very critical and strategic for Mondelez globally that we do well in India, and that applies also to how we look at digital and what just said about Martin's remark around making Mondelez a digital snacking powerhouse. And there are various elements to that. including upping our investments on digital, making sure that we are investing behind what we call as personalization at scale. I touched upon that a little bit earlier.
Correct.
That not all Gen Z are the same. There are Gen Z, you can segment them by different passion points, and we have done that. So more than 50% of our investments on digital is actually personalized in nature, and that again goes into making Mondelez a global snacking digital powerhouse. And then finally, of course, e-commerce is very important. That is a key priority for us in Mondelez India to increase our contribution from digital commerce. We have teams working on that in both marketing and sales sides. So absolutely aligned with Martin's
What is
vision
the
over there.
kind of work that we will see? One you mentioned is reaching the consumer in a personal manner. But what is the kind of work that we will see from Mondelez and investment from Mondelez India in the coming days in this direction?
There would be investment in terms of capabilities. So we are also investing behind what we call as the first party data ecosystem. And we feel that if we are able to reach people in a personalized way, through website, through emailers, or through other ways, and through direct emailers, that makes an even more impact with the consumers. What we also learning is that, again, if we are able to, if we know more about the consumer, we can actually curate content for them which makes more impact with them. So this is a key capability we are building, and it is not just acquiring data. It is also how you enrich them and then deploy it in a meaningful way. I would say data is one big capability area. Analytics is another big capability area, which allows us to then reach people in a personalized way. And then this whole area of digital commerce or e-commerce, it's so fast evolving. You have new players coming, there is quick commerce. So we need to understand what the consumer is in each of these different e-commerce types and make sure that we are addressing what their needs are. So there would also be investment in terms of what we do from a marketing standpoint. Not just serving ads on these different websites, but how do we create an experience that makes a deeper impact with the consumers who are shopping on digital commerce.
Nitin, finally, before we go, in the face of challenging economic outlook for the year 2023, how is Mondelez India changing its marketing priorities?
I mean, certainly we look at what the macro trends are, and we incorporate those trends in the way we plan. But I think also our learning is that as we look at the last few years, that our categories have been quite resilient, the categories in which we operate in. Our brands are very strong, and we have a strong distribution muscle. The combination of all of this has meant that we have been able to mitigate many of those headwinds and have done quite well. So if you ask me, I think our focus would be to continue to build strong brands, make sure we have strong distribution muscle, we are driving penetration of our brands, and that's the best recipe. Again, as I said, consumer at the heart of everything, making sure that we have the right products for our consumers, making sure that we build brands, strong brands, and our ability to distribute those brands is what has worked for us. So we'll continue to focus and invest behind that.
Nitin, thank you so much. Thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you, Shivani. It was great to be here.
Welcome back. This week, Amsterdam-based global digital agency Dept Holding has ventured into India by fully acquiring Mumbai-based Technopoint Multimedia, a marketing agency that specializes in Adobe DX solutions. The Indian company will be rebranded as Technopoint Dept and will continue to operate under leadership of Technopoint CEO Himanshu Modi and CTO Yash Modi. We caught up with Dept CEO Dimi Albers, who was visiting India along with ad veteran Vishnu Mohan, who joined the company as a partner and chief growth officer for APAC in December 2021. They shared their plans for the country and the India market in the coming days. Dimi, Vishnu, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with the acquisition of Technopoint, Dept is officially entering the India market. Dimi, my first question to you is, what took you so long?
What took us, that is a really good question. So probably what took us so long is that we want to do things right. We started our company 7 years ago in the Netherlands, only in the Netherlands, 120 people, focused on both technology and marketing services. What we wanted to do is build out across the full digital customer journey and have an integrated agency that can do that. So what we did in the first 18 months is we built organically and we did acquisitions in the Netherlands to have the full digital customer journey within our services portfolio. Once we had that, we wanted to build out in Europe, which we did from 2016 to 2018. From 2019 to 2021, we built out in the US. The Americas, as we call it, is now 50% of our revenue. And once we built that out, had the full capability set there, we said, now we want to go into APAC. And in APAC, for us, it is important to make a solid first start, choosing 3 markets. So India, Australia, and Southeast Asia, or maybe Singapore, however you want to call it. So the idea is, if you want to do it right, you have to have all the different capabilities and you have to always deliver for your clients.
Yeah.
So rather do it right and maybe slightly slower than do it really fast and do it wrong.
So 2021 is when you entered APAC. Of course, we had the announcement of Vishnu joining in. What all have you achieved from then till now? And you must have set out with certain goals, certain agenda. How much of it has been achieved?
I joined in 21 December.
Yeah.
So it's not very far. It's 13 months. Lots and lots of conversation around the entire region. 13 months that we have been talking to, one point was very important was we were not looking at points on the map.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were really looking at really high quality assets that can ladder up to what we have been able to achieve in Europe and in US with the kind of acquisitions that we have made. This took our time. We took our time in terms of making sure that we have met various kinds of companies, done our proper due diligence, and found the ones that actually enable us to become more global, more in capability perspective and more in globality perspective as well. And that's where the 2 acquisitions that we have made so far, one in Australia, which was in September last year, 2 Bulls, and a very exciting digital product studio based out of Melbourne, which did really pioneering work across various sectors, government, health, family sector, which really laddered up to international standards. And now with Technopoint, we really believe that we've got an absolute gem of a business, a world-class Adobe specialist company, which really does implementations of the standards that can really take us truly international from an asset perspective.
Okay, you've given me an excellent segue for my next question. So, what do you aim to achieve or intend to achieve out of Technopoint in the India market in the coming months?
Yeah, so what for us is super important is that if you look at Technopoint as a business, 95% of their current business is in the India market. So for us, a big part is indeed stepping into the India market and starting to build out our services portfolio. So with Technopoint, especially in the first 3 to 6 months, it will all be about, okay, what are the capabilities that we have also outside of India? How can we infuse those into the team here so that we can work with our clients in the Indian market and create more value from them, for them by taking a lot of the tech that Technopoint does, adding more of the experience to it, the marketing, the creative. That is what we'll be looking for to do. And subsequently on the other side, we will take the Adobe capability that we have here within Technopoint and we are infusing that into our teams globally. And the cool thing is that over the past 6 months, we've already had 4 clients in Europe and in the US where we have worked together. So we already sort of try before you buy, you can almost call it. So we know how it is. We already have the people from the team working with our people in the Netherlands, UK, Switzerland, US and Argentina. So it is actually already happening, which makes us super excited.
Okay, Vishnu, you're familiar with the India market. What will Dept's entry into the India market mean for the clientele over here? What is the need gap that you're filling in with this?
So I think if you, that's a very good question actually. If you look at it and if you look at all the researches that come out and all the interviews that even you guys do with the CMOs of the companies, CX has always been right at the forefront in terms of both a need and in terms of a true capability gap that the country has in terms of the right kind of companies. We believe that that's one of the reasons as to why we led from a technology perspective and not from a marketing perspective. So one falls with the DNA, but also it falls with the need that is there in the market. What we have with the 500 odd engineers that are sitting in there, augmenting that with truly world-class experience capabilities brought in from our teams in Europe, etc., will really give us some of the best customer experience assets and capabilities that we can deliver to our clients. And I think that is going to be, and the other part of it, Stroban, is the fact that we are leading from a point of view of being at the upper funnel. So which means right at the time when people are designing their architecture, they're designing their payment systems, they're designing their entire construct itself. being involved there really gives us the true partnership status, and that allows us to go seamlessly down to the bottom line, to the lower funnel in terms of all the marketing and all of the creative and all of the performance and media and data capabilities that we will add as we move along in India through other assets that we might acquire or through organically build it as through our journey.
And you want to increase the current team of 500, which you just mentioned, to 1,500 in the coming days. Is it going to be through acquisition or acquiring talent? What is going to be the strategy there?
It'll be a healthy mix of both. So the organic growth of the team is very high. It's over 40%. We expect that to continue to go on, and we will then supplement that with very targeted one or more acquisitions to add those capabilities to the team. So it'll be a healthy mix like we always do. In the past 7 years, we've gone from 120 people to over 4,000, 25% growth organically every year, supplemented with 33 teams that have joined the business.
Okay. If you can also throw in some light on the acquisition strategy in the coming months, what are the kind of companies that you are looking to acquire?
I think one of the primary sectors that we'll probably be focused around in the coming months or so is are in the growth marketing area, which is, let's say, the aggregation of performance, media, data, analytics, etc. I think that's the spot that we believe that is, if you get a right kind of organization in the company, sizable enough, it would be a great complement and augment to what we have acquired with Technopoint in the market. It will kind of get to a point of a significant part of the whole suite of services that Dept has internationally through experience, engineering, creative, and growth, which are the 4 practice areas that we have. I think once we have that in place, we will have a significant part of that full digital journey asset services that we need in order to offer to our clients.
Yeah, and that's, maybe if I can add to it, that's what it's about, right? The main challenge that any C-level, be it the CEO, the CMO, or the CIO now has, is how can I bring together all the technology that I have to implement with my marketing and my branding. And the tough thing is almost any client will have it siloed. Almost any system integrator, network, agency in the market will do a lot of one and a bit of the other. And our company since the beginning has been built 50% technology, 50% marketing. So we're able to bring those people together, work with the CMO and the CIO, push through the silos and make sure that you work across the full digital customer journey.
Yes, so you will help connecting the dots between the entire
exactly,
ecosystem.
and that is the main thing, right? And that is what the Technopoint team has been seeing. They see that where sort of they are hitting a wall at the moment they will get the expertise from the rest of Dept in there, they can help their clients accelerate more, either sell more or have lower cost base, whatever it is, and that's what in the end the idea is about.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today and sharing insights with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
With Dept, we get access to international market. They are present in 16 different countries, so we'll be able to work with their customers worldwide. And other important thing is for our brands in India, where we have great relationships, we'll be able to do more things for them, in future.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.